Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. We are back with another episode. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes straight from TikTok. The message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? I never thought that money will make me do the things that I have done. Please hide my name. Brother Nash, please hide my name. I'm not using my real profile. I created this account just for this message. I am scared of being arrested or exposed, but of people recognizing my story and connecting the dots. People talk, and once a story moves, it does not stop. I don't even know if I am going to be explaining this properly. Maybe I'll repeat myself. Please forgive me. My head is not straight these days. You can call me I am or Ayanda. Either it's fine. I am Gosa, a South African woman, and I am 29 years old, and I am also a mother. That part matters more than anything else that I'm going to be saying. I grew up in the Eastern Cape, not poor, but struggling. And the struggle was real, where there was food sometimes, and sometimes there was no food, where you learn early to help your mom without even being asked. When others are busy with school, you are thinking about getting some piece jobs. We stayed close to a farm, so I would go there and also do some farm work during the schooling holidays, and then I would make some money so as to help my mother. And these are the lessons that I learned. They were not optional, because when you want to survival, you do not have an option. Well, I fell pregnant really young. The father, he was someone that was a working man. He was working by the farms. Since we used to go there, it was a lot of us. And when I was in matric, then he proposed to me, and I thought that with the money that he was making at the farm, all that he was giving me, at least I was going to have a little bit of money for myself. But this man, he was a womanizer. He was the manager at that farm. He promised me many things, and he never did anything. When I fell pregnant for him, then he did not want me like the way that he used to want me. He was now dating other young women like me. I finished school heartbroken. I prayed. I tried to pray, even though my life was not going anywhere. But I stayed in the Eastern Cape, felt like waiting for something that was never coming. That's how I ended up being in Johannesburg. When I came to Joburg, I slept on the couches, I shared rooms, I did anything so as to survive. Life was just difficult. Working, but you don't even have money to sustain you until month end. And I ended up borrowing transport money from people that would want their money with a lot of interest. So I was caught up in a cycle of debt. Many nights crying alone in a bathroom so that my child would not hear me whenever I would have gone home, when I would see that the situation back home is very difficult and I am unable to make more money. Eventually, I got a job at ToyRus. It was nothing that was glamorous, but it was really honest work. I was trained how to do my job, and I was working at the till, standing the whole day, smiling at strangers, even though if you are really stressed about your salary, saying have a nice day even when you do not even mean it. But I was grateful. At least I could buy food. At least my son could go to school. One afternoon, something happened that still plays in my mind like a loop. A woman came to my till with a trolley that was full of toys. I am talking big toys. Cars, electronics, boxes with expensive prices. As I scanned them, the total kept going up, and all of these toys, they were really expensive. 3,000, 6,000, 9,000. by the time that I had finished scanning, it was just under 11,000 rands. I looked up to tell her the amount. Oh my God, it was Buhle. For a second, I thought that I was mistaken, but it was him, the same face. She was that same high school friend of mine. We were not like best friends, but we knew each other enough to recognize each other immediately. She shouted my name. Aya, yo, is that you? I laughed. I hugged her across the counter and we started talking. Her son was standing next to him, about the same age as my son. That hurt in a quiet way that I did not want to admit at that time. She was with a Nigerian man. He was quiet, but he was well dressed. He barely spoke with me. When it was time to pay, he did not even look at the price. He just paid, and he had no stress, no hesitation to show that he had a lot of money. After my shift, Uhle told me that she wanted to talk to me. She even came and she picked me up with her car and she drove with me to the location where I was staying. We talked about everything. She asked about my life. I told her the basics. I did not tell her about some of the money that I was owing to different people. I did not tell her everything because, I did not want to seem as if I am someone that has totally failed in life. When we arrived in the location where I was staying, she was like, yeah, this place that you are staying with a beautiful body like yours, you don't deserve to be staying in such a crowded place. She told me to visit him and then she sent me the location and I went to Sandhurst. Like I had only heard that name on TV. The apartment was beautiful. It was very beautiful and everything was expensive in her apartment. The moment that I arrived and when she sent someone to come and pick me up, I saw outside, parked casually, was a Mercedes-Benz. She said it like it was nothing. Oh, that is mine. I congratulated him, and when we were inside, I saw that this woman was living a very soft life. Later, whilst we were talking, she then told me that she was now working from home and she does not stay with her son because of her work, and her son stays in Senton with her mom. I asked him what kind of work that made her not to share the same apartment with her son. She only goes to visit her mom. Her mother does not visit him at that same apartment. She said, oh, let me show you. Maybe you might be interested in doing this and then you can stop working. So she showed me a room and she said that the room that I was looking at, it was her workspace. There was a bed, there were ring lights, there was a camera, and there was a laptop, and then there were 2 iPhones. Everything was neat, it was nice. She then told me that she was a stripper. I laughed and I said, oh, you're a stripper. At which club are you stripping now? It does not look like you. You look so decent and classy. So you go out and strip at night. You mean that this stripper job is the one that is giving you all of this money? How much rentals are you paying? She laughed and she said, no, I'm not paying any rentals. This house, it belongs to my Nigerian boyfriend, that one that you saw me with when we came to your shop. He owns this house and other several houses in the neighborhood. I was like, wow, you are really blessed. So does he allow you to go and strip at a club, then you still sleep with him? Do you sleep with other men at that club? She laughed at me and she said, no, I don't even go to the club where I'll start stripping and men will lay their dirty hands on me. I only sleep with my boyfriend. I strip online. When she told me that she stripped online, to me it did not even make sense. Then she was like telling me that she was earning a lot of money, and she told me about strip chat. She said that she strips online for men and then those men, they give her money. So when she told me this, she did not even say it with any shame. She explained it as if it was just a job. You go online, you strip, and then the man will tip you online. No physical contact, you just help them so that they can masturbate. That is what she told me. It is all about that. They'll be lusting after your body whilst you are doing whatever that they want you to do. And these men are some of the guys that are very rich that will end up tipping you, and they don't want to have the services of a prostitute, so they would rather look at someone online stripping live for them whilst they are giving you some gifts. She then told me that this was like when someone is on TikTok and then people have joined their live and then they start to get stars from those people. And that is how she explained it to me. When I was looking at that room, there was everything that showed that indeed this woman, she was an online stripper. There were toys that she showed me of all different sizes, and she told me that she uses them according to the way that the men will suggest in the chat that this is what I want you to do and I'm going to tip you. And I said, this is like prostitution. And she said, no, it is not even about prostitution. I judged him, my brother, and I told her that as a Christian, I was feeling really uncomfortable. I'm a Christian. That is the way that I was raised. Even till this day, I still go to church. I still pray sometimes, in brackets. I judged her, and now I feel really sorry for judging her because I am also in that same situation. So I just listened and life continued. I vowed to myself that I will never end up like Buhle, stripping for men online. Life continued. Back home in the Eastern Cape, one day my son was playing soccer in the street, and then the ball flew and it broke a car windscreen, and the neighbor was very furious because this was someone that had visited them in the village. So the cost was 6,000 just to get that windscreen replaced because it was an expensive car. I did not have that money. I panicked. All the people that could assist me, I was already owing them. I then called Buhle, whom I had not spoken in a couple of months after she had told me that she was a stripper. But to my surprise, when I called her, she acted as if she was a sister to me. She did not even ask me why is it that I had not been speaking to him after she had told me that she is a stripper online. She helped me. She did not even hesitate. She just asked for my Capitec mobile number and I gave it to him. She sent me the money. We agreed that I would pay it back in 2 months. 2 months passed. I could not. I had a lot of bills that I was supposed to take care of: school fees, transport money, food. Everything kept coming because here in Joburg, I need to take care of myself. Back home, I need to take care of my family as well. So in the 2 months I thought that I was going to pay her back, I was unable to raise that money. One day when I was at Buhle's apartment, Buhle laughed and said something that cut me deeper that she probably realized, and she quickly apologized. So I had been telling her that I was unable to pay him in the 2 months. She was supposed to give me 5 months so that I can pay the money that I was owing to her. And she asked me how much I was owing. I started telling her some of the money that I was owing, and she said, Aya, you are stressed about 200 rand on your clothing account, but you do not want to see the opportunities that I am presenting in front of you. I felt small when she laughed at me, and she quickly apologized. I felt small because it was really true. She invited me again to join Strip Chat. I refused. I prayed about it. I fasted and I refused again, and I said, I can't do this. But when you are desperate, desperation talks louder than praying sometimes. I agreed. Finally, I joined. This was in the year 2024. When I joined, to my surprise, I don't know if it is because of my body, my skin color, I really do not know. The first month, I made 7k on the platform. I cried when I made this money. At least I was going to use that money to settle some of the bills that I was owing. Month after month, this money kept on increasing. A lot of men kept on donating money to me. Some of them, they even wanted us to go off platform, which I was scared of. And then one day I was on TikTok on my original account, not this one that I have created. I got a message. A man who called himself Ikena, who was a Nigerian, he started to DM me. When he DM'd me with that account called Ikena, not his real name, I said, there we go, another Nigerian scammer trying to scam me of my hard-earned money. I even wanted to block him, but I just did not block him because I saw that he had a lot of followers as well. Not a lot, but you could see that this person is a real person, and I just liked the videos that he did. He was based here in Joburg, saw him driving beautiful cars. Not like I was into him, I was just checking if this was a real person or not, and I just ignored him, did not respond to his messages. What made me to open up his message after he had DM'd me again, he called me by my username from Strip Chat, which was a username that Uhle had helped me to choose that can never be linked back to me unless if you know me and then you see my leaked videos, because they are men that record these videos. When you are doing those sessions, even private with them, they will be having a screen recorder, and then they will be recording the screen and they will leak it online. So unless if you know me, then you will know my username. So he called me by my username, and I said, this man, he knows me. By the way, I was still working at ToyRus because I was not yet sure about this thing, if it was going to be something that will be giving me a stable income like forever. So I was scared to quit my job at ToyRus. When he called me by my Strip Chat username, I then gave him my attention, the one that he had been looking for. I said, hi, how are you? Then he went for days without responding to me, and I said, this guy, he has the nerves to DM me, then he just ghosted on me like that. He came back with another surprise, and he called me again by my Strip Chat username, and I saw that he had given me some money that I was supposed to go and withdraw. It was an e-wallet that he had created, and I went to the Capitec ATM and I withdrew. It was 2k. I said, thank you very much. By then, he was just calling me by my Strip Chat username, not telling me exactly what he really wanted to do with me. So this went on, like after each and every 5 days, he will say, hi Aya, are you okay? I've been missing you. Where are you? Here is some money. I want you to buy something nice for yourself. Then I would go withdraw the money, and I will even send it to my mom, deposit it into my account and send it straight to my mom. I was like, this guy, is he my secret blesser? What's going on? Whenever I would try to get more information from him, like he would rarely tell me exactly what he wanted from me. So later on, that was when he told me that he really enjoyed the work that I did on Strip Chat, and I had a very beautiful body, and he said, if I was not married, I was going to marry you, Aya. That was a little bit of a heartbreak, because this man, he had already given me close to 10k by then, just sending me e-wallets without even proposing love to me. So with all the money that he was giving to me, I was a little bit into him. I finally gave him my WhatsApp number, and we started talking like each and every time. That was when he told me that he was my top fan, and he said he always tipped me. I checked and I saw that it was true. He was the guy that always gifted me a lot of money. We talked every day, calls, voice notes. He would send me money, which he said this was girlfriend allowance. He said that he really enjoyed my body and he encouraged me to keep on doing whatever that I was doing. In November of 2025, then he asked to see me physically. I was scared, but I agreed because he had been giving me tons and tons of money. We met, it was in the last week of November. He was gentle, he was very polite. We met at a 5-star hotel here in Joburg, not what I expected, and then we slept together. He gave me 15k for the night that we spent together. It was amazing, but he told me that he did not want anything that has strings attached to it. That was why he told me to continue doing my work online. Then one night again, after we had made love and he had paid me, he then told me the truth. Like, I woke up and I did not find Ikena in bed with me. So when I got up, that was when I saw that he was sitting down and he had his back against the bed and he was really sad. He was just naked, sitting there. And then I said, Ikena, what is wrong? What is wrong? Is your wife troubling you again? Because he told me that his wife is full of drama. Then he looked at me and I saw that he had tears. I said, what is wrong? I took him back to bed and I started cuddling with him. I also felt like crying with him because he could not tell me what was going on. He then told me that at the end of the year, he must be humiliated because he is a ritualist. You know, when he told me that he is a ritualist, I really did not even understand what he meant by that. And he said that he wanted me and he was going to pay me. And I said, what do you mean you want me? You want to sleep with me until the end of the year or what? Then he said, no, I want you to be the one to humiliate me for my rituals, and then I will pay you nice money. I did not understand. That was when he told me, he took me the process that I was supposed to perform to help him with this ritual, otherwise his wealth will come collapsing. I argued with myself a couple of days after. I prayed, I cried, but then I agreed. I said, it is the same. So I started to do this to him from the beginning of December. These rituals, they started small, but as time went on, that was when they became even more worse and worse, to such a point that I started using sex toys on him as if I was the man and he was the woman. The rules, they started quite easy. He would come to the apartment where I am staying right now, and when he would come to the apartment, he would wear my clothes and I would wear his clothes. I would be sitting down whilst he would be mopping the floor, doing the dishes, doing everything whilst he was wearing my clothes, a dress, even my underwears and the bra, everything as if he was a woman, even with the wig on. To me, it was kind of like funny, but he had told me not to laugh because if I laughed, then we had to do the ritual again. I had to humiliate him in public. I still remember we went to Pick and Pay. Whilst we were at the till, I was so nervous about this. He purposefully went with me with a card which he knew he had blocked a very long time ago, even though I had money that he had given to me. But he said that I wanted to sound like real and to look real. We went there, and then when he was paying, the card declined and there were a lot of people. He kept on trying, and then I humiliated him by calling him names. So then I took out the money that he had given to me. That was how I was humiliating him publicly. But the most difficult one was when he told me that the next stage was that he was supposed to act like a dog, my dog, to lick my urine as well as to eat my poop. That was the most difficult thing. I said, I can't do this. But he said, if you can't see me doing this, then I'm going to have to look for someone else, but I can't pay you because you have not helped me to complete the rituals. I said, how do we do it? We then went and we bought some bowls, those ones that you feed dogs in, and then I would go into the bathroom and I would not poop directly into the toilet. I would do it into that metallic bowl, and then the other bowl I would have to do some pee, and then I would call him. Sometimes I would go and collect him even from the bedroom, put on a dog collar on him and drag him to the bathroom, like literally drag him, and then I would be waiting for him whilst he was eating the whole thing. He told me that it was all about assisting him to complete these humiliation rituals. I would be having a mask on and I would be holding a can so that I can keep on spraying so that I won't smell the poop. He would eat it crying. It was so disgusting and gross, and that was the most difficult one. So before the end of the year, he then said, let us go and buy some sex toys. We then went and then we ended up buying some, and these ones that we bought, my brother, they were those ones that I have to wear, and then I will sleep with him as if he was the woman and I am the man. I can't get too graphic about it, but that was the humiliation that I did to him until on the 31st of December. Whilst the fireworks were going on, the humiliation ritual was being done, and I was the one that was doing it. Since that day, even though he paid me 30k, I am not okay. The money came on 1st of Jan. It was good money that came to me because I am someone that is already making money on strip chat. Then to top it up with this 30k, I felt wonderful. I sent the money to my mom. I am thinking of renovating the house this year. Those are the goals that I have. But when I received this money, after everything that I did to Ikena, I feel somehow, I don't feel okay. I don't have any peace. I feel as if I am carrying something heavy on my shoulders at all the times. I feel afraid. I feel as if I am empty spiritually. What I feel on my back, it really scares me. I feel as if there is someone that is holding me in a very painful way on my back or close to my waist area. This does not happen at all the times, but when it happens, even to stretch my back, it becomes really painful, and I don't know what is causing this thing to happen, and I don't know anymore. I feel as if I am constantly carrying a heavy child on my back, and I need help. If there is anyone that you know that can assist me with a cleansing ceremony, because I once spoke with a friend of mine who did an initiation to become a sangoma, but I did not tell her that it's me. I just said that there is this other friend that I know. She says that she is always feeling like she is carrying a baby on her back, and she said that that woman needs to be cleansed before she die. I am still talking to Ikena, and he says that he's so excited that he has finally found someone who can do this ritual to him back to back. Like this year, he also wants me to be the same woman whom he will do the rituals with. I'm not sharing this to be famous, not to be pitied. I'm sharing this because I need help. If you know any other prophets that can cleanse me, or a sangoma, South African, because I'm scared of ending up becoming a ritualist myself who is in Joburg, please hit my DM. I'll be in the comments. Hey listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear system. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. She's saying that she is looking for a prophet around Joburg who can help her with cleansing. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. And then there is another message that I'm going to be sharing with you. The message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as anon. I have typed and deleted this message many times. I'm a South African woman, a mother of 2 girls. I'm not stupid. I'm not lazy. I am not someone who wakes up thinking of shortcuts. But life has a way of pushing you into corners that you never even imagined yourself standing in. 2 years ago, I really had hope, high hopes that everything was going to turn out really good. My friend, someone that I trusted because she was dating a man who also became rich, fixing tires, and he was now a big supplier, supplying even to other big companies, but he was getting these tires straight from China. They would arrive by ship, they would collect them in Durban. He came to me with a business idea. We were both struggling and we were both tired of loans, of borrowing. So she said, tires, they make a lot of money, but you only make money if you buy these tires in bulk. That is where the real profit is. She told me that she had contact in China that we could order tires in bulk, then we can sell them directly to transport companies, those that had trucks, taxis, buggies. They all need tires. We can sell to them at a cheaper price. We'll open a big shop here in Durban. And it was something that sounded logical for me. And it sounded like it was going to be easy money. You just import those tires straight from China and then they come to South Africa. You start making your money. This was what I wanted at that time because I had money, but my money was not enough to cover the debt which I had found myself in. So I needed a big business that was going to push me so that I can be able to breathe, because I was always underwater, being suffocated by the debt that I had. We planned and we calculated, even borrowed some more money, because I thought that this was the business that was going to make us to become rich. That's where the mistakes started. We took loans, we emptied our little savings, and we convinced family members to help us. I even sold some furniture. We told ourselves that this was going to be temporary, that once the container arrived, everything will change. It was just dumping money into the toilet. I did not know this at that time, that before you venture into any business, you need to start by investigating and to see if this business you can run it, not to just take out a lot of money and then you start to use it in that business. So the tires, they arrived late, the shipping cost, they even went up. You know, when bad things want to happen, bad things will always happen. And that is exactly what happened at that time. Our ship, it got caught up, and each and every minute our costs were going up. There were custom delays and there were storage fees as well. That hit really hard. I did not know that you have to go through all of that when you want to import something into the country. All of those custom fees that you pay, it was a lot. By the time that the tires reached us, I was already bleeding money. I had nothing left. So we started selling these tires. When we sold these tires, we could not sell them at the price that we had calculated all by ourselves. You know, when you have started a business, sometimes you think that you are going to make a lot of profit and everyone is going to be rushing and buying your merchandise. But once you have the items on the ground, then reality will start to sink in. That is exactly what happened. The prices that we thought was going to be the price that we were going to sell these tires for, we did not end up selling the tires for that price. We sold it cheap, really cheap, so much that we were unable to recoup the money that we had used when we were purchasing these tires from China. Some never even got sold at all. Then we started arguing. We blamed each other. We have since stopped talking to each other. The business has since collapsed quietly, but my debt has been going up and up each and every minute. I only rest when it is on the weekend. Like now on a Saturday, my brother, it gets better. Once it is on a Monday, when 7 a.m. hits, then those people, they start calling me. I am being called by so many numbers. Even if I were to get scammed, I can just get scammed easy, because some of the companies that are calling me, telling me that they are debt collectors for such a company, I don't even know them, and I don't even know where I'm going to get the money from, because like I have to pay this money and I have to pay it immediately. So my mind has started sleeping. I can't sleep. Sometimes I snap at my children. Only after I would have snapped at my children, then I apologize to them. I feel like a bad mother. I am very forgetful when it comes to simple things. I can just start to cry randomly, even at work. I am feeling as if I am a total failure as a woman and as a mother. I used to pride myself as a single mom, but when I am looking at my current situation right now, my brother, I am not doing okay. I'm not doing okay at all. Life has become so difficult for me, so much that I really do not know what else to do with my own life. I once even thought of taking my life, because I thought that my life was okay, but now I am sinking heavy into debt. When I saw that the business has collapsed, I prayed, I fasted to God, thinking that God was going to come and rescue the business, but that did not even happen. I still go to church. I pray. Like tomorrow on a Sunday, I'll be going to church, fasting, but the situation is not even changing. And I have been given some phone numbers. That is why I am here. I want other people to help me out so that I can just know what is it that I am going to do. I was given some phone numbers by a Mozambican witch doctor, and this number was given to me by someone else that I know dearly, and it is of a Mozambican witch doctor. I have not yet called immediately these phone numbers, but the person that I have been talking to, they have given some clues as to what I am supposed to expect if it happens that I go to Mozambique. Going to Mozambique, it is going to cost me 20k, because the money that I'm going to be using there, as to what I was told by the person who went to Mozambique, they used 20k, and they said you just need to budget that money. There is somewhere where I can get my last 20k. So I've been thinking about it, going to Mozambique. I've been thinking of going to Mozambique so that I can do ukutwala rituals and then get out of this cycle of debt. The money, I was told that it is going to come fast to me, magic money. But he gave me a hint and said, when you go to Mozambique, you are supposed to expect that when you come back, one amongst your daughters is going to die, for the person knows my family and knows my life. And I started to know that, oh, this is why he also lost two of his sons, but the first one died when they were on a schooling trip, then the other one passed away. I think it was 6 years after, and now he is childless, but he has money, he lives a very comfortable life. So when I was still home, I used to talk about him quite a lot with my mom when she was still alive, because he just left the village, came to Joburg and never came back. So one of my child is supposed to die, and I've been thinking about it. I do not know what to do. The pressure is too much. I am supposed to have my phone switched on at all the times for work reasons, but when it is Monday, I have no rest. The creditors, they are calling me. Family, they avoid me because I borrowed money from them which I can't return. My friends as well. I am feeling as if I am trapped. There are days when I think that I am going mad. There are days when I look at my daughters and I feel as if I am not supposed to do this. I want money, but I do not want money in exchange of my daughter's life and to lose her blood, because this man, he told me that he keeps his son's blood with him at all the times in a small container. I don't want blessings that will come from the devil, but I'm scared because as I am speaking with you right now, I am about to lose my house if I do not trade my daughter for success. I'm scared that people are going to laugh at me if I lose this house. I am afraid to start at zero again. Please assist me with advice. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things they do happen in this world. What kind of advice can we give to our dear sister? She's saying that she has no peace. The debt collectors, they are always calling her Monday to Saturday. She has no peace. Let us give her some advice in the comment section. Then there is another message that I'm going to be sharing with you, and that message, it reads like this. Hello brother Nashi, how are you? Please post my story as hidden identity. I am a Zimbabwean woman, age 38. I have 5 kids, 3 with my Zimbabwean husband who has since passed away, 2 with my South African husband. My kids are still very young, and I want to confess to you the things that I did to my best friend. My best friend was supposed to be the one who was supposed to be married to my husband, but she made a mistake by showing me a lot and telling me a lot about her relationship, how she was enjoying the sex that she was having with her boyfriend, the money that she was being given. Ladies, don't share anything with your friends, because you might be sharing with someone who also hates you but just pretends to like you. When I came to South Africa, I started working here in Joburg. My friend was already working as a maid, and then we connected through Facebook and we started visiting each other. Finally, I moved to the location where she was staying. She then told me that she had been arrested when she had gone to town by these other metro cops, but one of the metro cop looked at him and said, "You are so beautiful, I want your numbers. That is the only deal that I'm going to do with you so that I won't arrest you." So that is how they started dating. I said, okay, it's fine. I did not expect anything from their relationship, but then she started looking so nice and she started enjoying life. And that man, she helped him to build up a business. He stopped working. I'm just speeding up my story for the sake of time, brother. After they had started their business, they were working together. Whenever I would visit him, I would feel so jealous with the kind of a lifestyle that she was living. She was staying in a gated community, still working as a maid. She even suggested that I was supposed to help her with some piece jobs, and I felt as if she was humiliating me. As a friend, she was supposed to find a husband for me. They were not yet married. They were staying as girlfriend and boyfriend. And then when I returned back home, I told my mom about this. My mom then told me that if I wanted that man, we were going to visit this other certain prophet, in which we did. I was then given some holy stones and some holy water. Whenever I would go and do the laundry at the place where they were staying before they had moved out with her boyfriend, who is now my husband, my husband's clothes, I would wash them separately and I would mix the water with the holy water. And as for my friend, I would wash her clothes with dog poop. Dog poop is very dangerous because it is smelly and people, they find it to be disgusting. So that was how her boyfriend started to find her so disgusting, a woman that he once loved. Then I started to use the holy stones. I would put them into the pockets of his trousers or the jacket. But these were like your very small stones. You will never even find out that you have them in your pocket. He started having dreams about me because I would write a piece of paper and I would write his name and my friend's name, and I would take some chili and I would put that chili on top of that paper. Then I will burn. So you see, chili, it is very bitter to taste. So this meant that their relationship was going to be very bitter, such that my friend was going to walk away. I then made 2 dolls, and I made these 2 dolls and I gave them the name of my friend and the name of my husband, and they were not facing each other, and I tied them together, and in between these dolls I put some thorns in between them so that no matter what, they will never love each other again. I walked from the location where I stay, and then I had to walk for a long distance and went to another location where no one knows me. And I was supposed to look for a gravel road, but where 2 gravel roads meet. Then that was when I dropped those dolls at the crossroads, and I then got onto the taxi and returned back to the location where I am staying. So that is how my husband started telling me that he finds me to be very attractive more than my friend. They started fighting each and every time. My friend would come to me asking for advice, and I would tell her that South African men will never love a Zimbabwean woman, and she will feel so hurt about the way that she was being treated by her boyfriend, but she did not know that it was because of the holy prayers that I had been using in her house, because I was the one that was busy kicking her out of her own house. The final nail in the coffin was when I got a broom, a sweeping broom, that one made out of grass, and then I had to take it to the graveyard, to a cemetery. It was scary for me at night, and then I left it there. After a couple of days at night, I went and I picked it up. And since I was her maid, when I went to work one day, I was doing some piece jobs, not working permanently. I then switched the sweeping broom, and then I took the one that was in her home and I brought it to my room. This is the sweeping broom that I'm still using to this very day. When my friend would be sweeping, she was sweeping herself out of that relationship. And when I would go and do piece jobs, I would carry my sweeping broom. I was sweeping myself into her man's life. We finally slept with each other. My womb was already ready because of the charms, fell pregnant, and I quickly got married to him, for I knew what I wanted from him. This is my confession, my brother. I know people are going to judge me. You can judge me all that you want, but what I want to say is that never show your friend that you are enjoying life. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. She's saying that when she was sweeping her friend, when a friend was sweeping in her house, she was sweeping herself out of her own home, out of her own relationship. And this woman, whenever she would go to do the piece jobs, she would use that old sweeping broom, sweeping herself into that relationship. African magic. It is very strange if you think about it. Then there is another message that I want to share with you, and that message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as anon. My name is Brian. I used to drive this other bus, but I was just an assistant. So this bus, they are no longer operating because after the man had died, he was a ritualist. This man, he was the one that knew how to operate his company. So we would drive from Cape Town to Harare, and each and every year there were things that we did. we had to carry a dead body and go with it to Zim, literally smuggle that body out of the country. So this would be the body of a Zimbabwean person that would have died in Joburg, Cape Town, and then we would act as if we are cheap transport. It is very expensive to carry a body from South Africa going with it to Zimbabwe, but buses, they are not allowed to do this. But this was what was keeping the company afloat. The moment that the old man passed away, his buses, they started burning. You see a bus burning, most of the times it is because the Tokoloshis, they are no longer getting what they used to get when the owner was alive. This man, he had a taxi that was buried in a mountain. They even went with a TLB to dig up a huge hole, and they buried a taxi. And I heard that on each and every seat in that taxi, there was blood that was dropped on each and every seat. They did it in a game park, like they looked for a forest where less people go to that forest, and then they dug up a huge hole using that TLB, and then they drove that taxi into that big hole and they buried it. This was what was keeping his company alive, and the Tokoloshi, they demanded that PM, one of his bus, was supposed to pick up a dead body. The first time that we did it, brother, I was so scared of what we were doing. I was afraid of getting arrested, but it was me and the driver who had been told the secret of the company. There was this other man who was Rasta, who had been stabbed in Cape Town at a tavern. His family, they were poor. The money that they were being charged, it was a lot. They could not afford to have Rasta transported from South Africa to Zim. They were even thinking about getting Rasta buried in Cape Town. So since the documents were already there, the only thing that was missing was the transport. And we had a big trailer, but the challenge was how we were going to transport this man. You know what they did, my brother? They bought a big fridge, like those ones that they use in the taverns. It was quite huge. And this fridge, we had to pour ice blocks. And we also had another fridge that had some ice blocks. We were traveling from Cape Town with a deceased body, and the passengers that we had in our bus, they did not know that at the trailer there was a deceased body. I was panicking throughout the journey until we arrived in Harare, and we were given money for the work that we had done. Later on, Rasta was taken to Mutare, where he was born and where he was to be buried by a normal car from the funeral parlor that came to pick him up at our workshop. This was done at night. The old man was very powerful. When we were traveling, he would call us and he would tell us that in about 30 or 40 kilometers, we were going to see a roadblock. He would tell us what to do and what to say. When you will get out of the bus as the assistant driver, you run to the traffic cop with all the documents for the bus. He said that whenever I would do that, when I hand over these papers to the officer, I must say, "Looking good, officer." This was what was going to make the officer not to think much about what we were carrying in the trailer. I did this until we arrived in Harare. Each and every traffic cop, any police, both on Zim and in South Africa as well, "Looking good, officer." This was like a ritual that I was doing, and we were never searched, even at the border. The way that we passed through the border, the passengers, they were like, "Today we are moving with the grace of God." We have not even been stopped because of the charms. They did not know this. This is my confession. Right now, my brother, I am working at a warehouse in Poland. What I saw in South Africa, it terrified me as a bus driver. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from our dear brother right there. strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Tell me what you think in the comment section. If you enjoyed watching this episode, you can tell us in the comment section. Just leave a like as well as a comment. I'll be back with another episode.